Welcome to Inspiring Nations with Sonja Keeve Radio Show, an affiliate of Creative Broadcasting and TALK Radio TV Network LLP. Question: where do you draw your inspiration? Join us as we feature women from across the globe with incredible stories of how they inspire nations every day. Now, here is your host, Sonja Keeve.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to another amazing edition of Inspiring Nations, an affiliate of Creative Broadcasting and Talk Radio TV LLP. And I have the wonderful pleasure of introducing my next guest to our show. We have none other than Miss LaTasha K. Wise. And let me tell you a little bit about her. She is a certified life coach through International Association of Certified Coaches who specializes in helping her clients overcome challenges to live a healthier lifestyle. Changes can occur as soon as 1 week rather than years, depending on one's determination. Her goal is to allow each person to live a purposeful, joy-filled life. Having her own struggles with weight management, she wanted to help others with achieving their goals with the best cost savings technique. LaTasha has also experienced coping with family addiction. These experiences have given her the tools and genuine purpose to help others absolutely do the same. And so without further ado, for my listening audience, please welcome to the show Miss LaTasha Wise. Well, hello, superstar.
Well, hello there. Thank you for having me.
Yes, I am so happy to have you on this show. And I know that I read your bio, but just outside of your bio, for those who don't know who you are, just share a little bit more about who you are and whom you serve.
Well, I serve God first,
yes.
And then I serve my family. And I also have a career, so I'm a full-time employee. I'm a project manager for an HVAC company. But like I said, I serve God first, and my family is right there. And I have 3 beautiful children. I have a husband, and right now I have my father-in-law living with me as well as my mom. So the house is pretty full. And I'm managing, everyone at the same time and also trying to, help others as long as we can all do this together. That's the way it's supposed to be. We're supposed to give back and help someone else.
Yes, absolutely. And I was so excited to have you on my show. And for those that follow me and listen to my show, I had decided to kind of change my life. I was struggling with weight and really just was struggling with just how I was feeling. And so I put out a post out on Facebook and just kind of said, help, I need some weight loss techniques. I need something to kind of help me. And, my friends absolutely stepped in and just, made all these wonderful suggestions. And then you reached out and said, give me a call. And so you and I talked, and I began to take a new direction with really changing my lifestyle. And as a result of that, I was able to lose 20 pounds in 1 week. And people were like, oh, my God, what are you doing? And so I wanted to bring you on because we're going to talk about the topic around diet versus lifestyle. So I wanted to first kind of ask you, because you shared your weight loss struggles. You mentioned in the bio you have weight loss struggles. So what was it, the things that you were struggling with that kind of brought you to the part where you wanted to help others?
Well, for the longest time, I think that mentality of cleaning your plate kind of sets with us, being African American, being women, and we instill the same thing in our children. If you have food, you have to eat everything because number one, we work hard for our money, and you don't want to waste it. So
right.
you're like, okay, let me go ahead and clean my plate. And then the choices that we make, we're thinking about stretching $1.
Yeah.
It's too much to eat healthy. It's healthy food is actually cost. It costs more than us just picking up something like some fries or something like that. That's very easy. We can get a hot dog, put some beans together for the kids, or make some spaghetti. That's a quick meal. That's something that's going to last. And just to get out of that mentality was just a huge thing when you've done that for so many years.
Yes, it is.
And then I had to wake up, and I was like, okay, I have at that time my youngest daughter, she was about 5, and I just noticed that number one, I was older. I had her at 35, so I didn't have as much energy as I had with my older children. I was like, okay, this is just not cool. I'm out of breath just walking upstairs. And I was probably about 270 pounds at that time. And it's like you look at yourself, but you don't really look at yourself.
Yeah.
And it just took me actually stopping and saying, okay, I need to do something different. And I sat down and I was like, okay, I think what I need to do is probably just try to do something just out of the norm.
Yeah.
So I just started eating vegetables. And I noticed that with me doing that, my complexion changed and just different things. I mean, just eating healthier things, make the decision a lot easier. And I was just like, man, I'm feeling better. I'm looking better. My hair is growing. My nails are growing. Just doing simple changes. And it just made a difference.
And I will have to tell you that you absolutely look amazing. I have seen the transformation happen in your life, and that was why I was so inspired to kind of, find out what you were doing. And so, everyone is always kind of looking for that magic pill. There are so many diet plans out there. There's food plans out there. There's just so much information that I think we get into this analysis paralysis mentality, and we end up not doing anything and getting stuck. So for your clients, if you have somebody that's coming to you and they say, hey, I want to lose weight. What kind of conversations are you having with them as it relates to diet versus a lifestyle change?
Well, typically I always start off the conversation just getting an idea of where that person is right now and then where is it that they're trying to go to.
Okay.
My focus is helping others to meet their goals. I've educated myself on so many different techniques. I mean, you have people that may want a vegan lifestyle. They may want to do something along the, as keto. There are a lot of different things, but everything is not for everybody. And one of the things that I've done because I've educated myself, I can kind of, be able to sit down with that person and be able to direct them on a path so that way they can have a positive goal and, and then be able to make that goal. It kind of puts us back when we can't make that goal, and then it puts us backwards. We're doing the same things over and over again.
Yes.
So I just want to be able to inspire someone else to continue to do it. Like I said, it was a long haul for me. And like I said, it's been 5 years, and I've been able to maintain and then still, not saying you have to, eat everything healthy all the time, but there has to be a balance. And once you make that lifestyle change, there's a balance where you're not having to say, okay, this is my diet. I'm doing this. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. And we can't, in all of our lives, there's other things going on. So you can't say can't because you never know what's going to happen on a day. You may go to a luncheon and they don't have the positive enforcements. What are you going to do? Take your food with you? No, we're not going to do that.
Yes.
So it's different things that you need to know how to overcome these things.
Yes, and something that you mentioned in that when you're speaking to your clients, you try to figure out, first of all, where they are mentally. Because the thing that I know that I've experienced and talked to other women, one of the reasons why I think diets fail is because we are always hearing about things that we have to give up and almost feel like we have to starve ourselves. But what you're doing is something a little different, is it not?
It is. It's totally different because, like I said, everything is not for everyone.
Right.
What may be good for you may not be good for that next person. But what I do is try to personalize it where it's going to work the best for that person.
Okay.
So, just to give you those options that you would want to, that you would be able to implement. Whether you're a very busy person, you may be on the road all the time. So what will I be able to do, if I'm always on the road? I don't want to walk around with carrots in my purse or, just different things. What is it that I can do to help me, make the goal? So I want to be able to give you those options because you can still go to a restaurant, but there are choices that you can make, and easy choices, and they make a big difference.
And it does. And can you share with our listening audience what are some good vegetables that really help your body more than others that that some of my audience members may not know?
One of the ones that, I absolutely love kale and spinach.
Okay.
The vitamins that it gives you, it just helps you out. And it has water. It's like, a lot of people, they think when they get a salad, they want to use lettuce. They want to use the romaine lettuce because that was the first lettuce outside of iceberg. So we try to go to that. But greener is the better. I've seen J.J. Smith. They've done with the green smoothies. Those green smoothies, they are awesome. But a lot of times people don't have it in them to do smoothies, and it starts to add up when you're blending all your food. Those things. You're trying to make sure that everybody in the house can eat. You're not going to make enough smoothie for the whole house, or or things like that. It's like you want to think practical when you want to stretch $1. It's certain things that you can implement. And even with me talking to you during your time of detox, everybody, you're like, man, my husband is, he's doing, and they will. It's actually like one of those things that runs over because people start seeing you doing things. They're like, oh, well, let me try that. So it's not like you feel that you're on an island. And it's my job to support you, so it's like I'm there. So, even though I'm not physically there, I'm in your ear, so that way you have someone to actually be like, okay, so how's it going? Maybe we need to change up some things. I'm here for that.
That's awesome. And one of the things you mentioned was detoxing. So, so when somebody comes to you and they, say they're, ready to kind of lose the weight, they've been struggling with it. What is the purpose of detoxing?
The detox, it is on a biblical sense. When we're talking about when we want God to fill us up, it always requires us to empty something. He can't fill what's already full of all of the other stuff. So we have to empty our cup so that he can fill it with those things that he wants us to have.
Yes.
So you have to cleanse your body to get rid of all of the gook and things that your body is so used to having. And then you want to start to fill it with those things that you want to help you. There are so many things that you can eat that will actually help your body, and your body will work towards its goal, of supporting you.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. And I know that when I began my journey, you and I talked, and that was kind of the first step that you gave me was to detox. And my own personal experience, what I did find was that I did get a more sense of clarity as the days went by. Now, I won't lie, the first 3 days were really tough because it wasn't something I was accustomed to doing. But once I kept progressing and kept going, it goes right back to what you said at the top of the hour, is when you begin anything, it starts in the mind. And you have to change kind of what you're thinking because it is hard to break habits. I had someone say, it's, if you're older, it took you 30 or 40 years to gain that weight. So it's going to take, some time to get rid of all of those bad habits and that bad eating that you've been doing for 20 or 30 or 40 plus years. And so when you detox, is it something that happens like instantly, or is it different for each individual?
It's different for each individual. Let's say, for instance, like with you, I mean, your pounds that you shed, I mean, it was an excessive amount, but
right.
it was also because, you had a different mindset, and you have a different bone structure, whereas someone that may be built differently, they may lose more or they may lose less. So it's how your whole structure is set up. So I can't say that everybody's going to lose 20 pounds, everybody's going to feel good after day one. It just depends, because you could have someone that may have they've been thinking that they're eating healthy, or they're not eating as like fried chicken or something like that, but they're still not eating the things to help their bodies to work to their advantage. So that person may not lose as much, but they still may gain that clarity and start, they can tell the difference with acne and things like that. So everybody will take on a different experience. But detox is detox. There's going to be a difference somewhere, whether it's physical, emotional, mental. You're going to feel something when you do this detox.
Yes, you will. And and going through your own personal journey, what has your family said as you, embarked on your journey and have been successful to maintain keeping the weight off?
Well, I get a lot of compliments from my children, of course.
Okay.
Because they've been there. I was a single mom, so I raised my kids, and I was very young when I had my son. So being 20 and having a child, and they've always been in my corner. And so my mom and people that they're so used to eating a certain way. When I try to introduce them to different things, at first they're like, "Oh, here comes Miss Healthy, here she comes." But it's just that because I'm adding more years on, I want to add on more years to them as well. I want them to be around.
Absolutely.
My father-in-law, he came to live with us last January, and he was very ill. He had he had like as many valves as we have in our hearts. He had all the bypasses. So I think it's 5 or 6. That's how many bypasses he had. And so we almost lost him because he was just in that bad of a shape. So now when he came, he was on insulin. He could barely, walk, all of these things. And now he doesn't even have to do his insulin. He does the Januvia, which helps with his blood, just to keep the levels going. But he doesn't have to stick himself every day, which is just awesome because he hates doing it anyway. So we check his sugar levels, not as regular as we used to, which is awesome for him because he's not being pricked, 3 times out of the day.
Right.
Those types of things. And he feels better. He has more energy and clarity about himself. And, it's just a wonderful thing to see. And even my mom, who has been, not saying that she wants to sign on to anything, she's even been like, okay, well, I guess I'll get a salad, less dressing, I'll try to do something different. And that was a stretch. and she's been doing it with no problem. Yeah.
And it's funny, just what you mentioned, like your mom, deciding that, I get a salad because, she's been seeing you do it. I think that's a benefit sometimes. Like, I think as human beings, we imitate what we see. Goes all the way back to with children. They always imitate what you see. And so I think, if we're going to imitate anything, I think it's important to, try to imitate something that's positive, something that's going to change your life in a positive way that will allow you not only to, shed the pounds, but I think also to, change your mindset and have a clarity of thought with it. And then you find yourself kind of also doing almost the same things because you're like, well, shoot, she's eating a salad. I want to kind of do the same thing because I don't want to look bad. And so and that's happened to me with my journey. And my husband now finds himself saying, well, you know what, instead of eating that fried piece of chicken, I'm going to try this big fish, or I'm going to try this big chicken. And so I think it's a beautiful journey to watch when your family not only can support you, but maybe even decide to join in with you.
Oh, yeah.
And so, thank you so much for sharing. And for those that are just tuning in, you are listening to Miss LaTasha K. Wise, and we're talking about diet versus lifestyle. And if you could just go into, for us, what is changing your lifestyle? What does that mean?
Changing your lifestyle pretty much is changing what you do every day so that you can actually live another day, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You got to, not saying forget your past, because sometimes a lot of things that you've gone through in your past helps you deal with your future. But this is actually trying to work on that mindset so that you can go forward. And this is something that it's going to be like second nature, just like you breathing every day. When you wake up in the morning, you're not like, well, how do I do that? It's something that's going to just come to you second knowledge. When people, they're going to bring you something, you're like, oh, no, I don't want that on there. Or I don't, just the choices that you make, because this is something that's going to be a mindset.
And thank you for distinguishing the difference, because a lot of us all know, we've heard, we know what a diet is, but the lifestyle change, it is about changing the decisions that you make every day. And I know when you make the decision to change how you eat and what you eat, it makes a big difference in your life, because just like yourself, before I got on the plan with you, I was breathing heavy. I was out of breath. The little things that I were accustomed to doing every day seemed so much harder, and not even realizing the damage that I was doing to my own body, because it was just something that I was just accustomed to doing every single day. And making these small changes, but being consistent with it every day, I think, would you say that would be the key, is just learning to do it every day, but also being consistent with it every day?
Yeah, it's totally being consistent. Whereas, let's say, for instance, if you ate, you're saying, okay, well, I typically eat good every single day. Well, this one day I'm going to go ahead and, deviate from that because I couldn't eat what I normally eat. That's not going to take you back. What you're going to have to do is learn what I need. What is it that I need to do differently so that it doesn't impact me on a negative. Maybe I need to do more exercise that day. Maybe I need to drink more water that day. Something along those lines where you're not feeling like you let yourself down.
Right,
but just knowing those things that will, it will come second knowledge to you once you implement it as a lifestyle change.
Yes, and I know that people are just screaming, going, okay, I want to know more. I want to get in touch with you. I want to figure out, what do I need to get started? So how can my listening audience get in touch with you?
Well, right now what you can do is contact me either on my email, which is Wisely, that's Wisely, Purposed, PURPOSED, @gmail.com, or you can call me at 804-901-6955, and I'll be more than happy to help you.
And could you repeat the number for us one more time?
Sure. That number is 804-901-6955.
Fantastic. And so there you have it. There's some easy connection points. You can email her, or if you like me, just pick up the phone and call her directly. And I know that Tasha will be more than happy to discuss with you your goals, your plans, so that you can truly live your best life and get on track to a more healthier lifestyle. Tasha, I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming on to my show, because I was so excited to have you, because like I said, I had so many people reach out to me just kind of asking, what are you doing, and I didn't want to give away all the juicy secrets. I wanted them to be able to come to you and discuss it, because like she said at the beginning of the hour, there's no magic bullet. There's no quick scheme or something to get through this. It is definitely a journey, and along that journey you'll figure out and find out what will work for you, and because what works for me will not work for someone else, but you find how it fits into your lifestyle, and when you do that, then you're able to just truly live that lifestyle that you've always wanted. And before I let you go, because this is something that I do with all of my guests, I want you to finish the sentence for me, okay?
Okay.
I believe
that I have made a difference, and I will continue to make a difference, because I am living on purpose.
I know
that I will continue to make a difference with the help of my Savior and Jesus Christ.
And lastly, what do you know for sure?
I know for sure that I am changing everyone's lifestyle one day at a time, without a doubt.
Well, Miss LaTasha K. Wise, it was indeed a pleasure to have you on my show.
Well, thank you for having me.
And this is another edition of Inspiring Nations. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Inspiring Nations with Sonja Keeve Radio Show. I challenge each of you to perform one simple act of kindness and pass it forward. For more information on how you can be a guest on our show, visit www.sonjakeeve.com. We hope to see you next time.